your reflective vacuum in terms of your nominals, applications.
My man, slow down. All the people are not going to say because
What is your dissatisfaction?
Oh, thank you very much to add that type of question. Thank you very much to add that type of question to me.
Very good.
Reason are there, my own differential I want to tell you.
Ready?
This satisfaction.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
I take a photo. Okay. Top of the wood. Is it even gonna flying good? Flying good. I know can also get that here. That's really the best. I'm the man. I make them fly. That's nice. Can you believe me now?
How did I do that?
I just like believe me. I make the birds excited. I just like you believe me now. Let's go. I make them fly. You see the storm now. And of course, it's 4 minutes after 8 a.m. here in Liberia. It is a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning. It's not really sunny, though. Let me speak for my part of the country. It's not really sunny. It's a pleasant morning to wake up to. It is midweek here in Liberia, and according to the weather forecast, today promises to be sunny with a gentle breeze throughout the course of the day. We really do need the wind. It's really hot and humid, and what will give to have some pleasant breeze throughout the course of the day. Temperatures ranging from 33 degrees Celsius, that is the highest, to 22 degrees Celsius, that is the lowest. I'll give you the rest of the weather forecast in details later on as we progress on the show. But I'd love to say good morning to you wherever it is you're listening to us from across Liberia. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. My name is Diamond Slanger. So this morning, I want us to begin our day with a beautiful motivational piece. You know, it's titled, "It's Okay to Start Over." It is okay. Most often we hear people say, "Oh, I've come too far. How come and do it? How come and start over? Hey, man, yeah, I just think all is lost." Yeah. At times you feel like you want to give up. It's something inherent in all of us, especially if you've put in so much effort and things come to an abrupt end, or how you don't want it to end, it ends that way. But it is okay to start all over. Every time you fail or attempt doing something and it doesn't work, that informs you that there are many other ways to get it done. When you're disappointed today and you faced with setbacks, it is okay to call for a retreat to turn the setbacks into comeback. It's okay. So let's listen to this one this morning and we'll continue with this show.
What if you got the opportunity to start over, to go back, to learn from every mistake, to scrape every lesson from your past and start with a clean slate? What would you do differently? What lessons have you learned in your past? And how would you apply them if you could start over? What if you had another opportunity to do better, to be better? Would you take it? You get that opportunity every day. We all get that opportunity every day. It's called waking up. Every day you wake up is a blessing, and you should never take that blessing for granted. You can choose to start over. You can choose today to do better. You can choose to live with a clean slate, which means you let go of your past and focus on now, right now. What are you going to do right now to create a better future for yourself? What plans are you going to make now for today and in the future to ensure this new version of you is better than the last? Will your future self be proud of you? Will your tomorrow self be proud of you by the work you do today, by the person you are today? You have to earn that future pride. If you're not putting in the work today, your future will pay the price. Let go of who you were. If you don't, you'll never know who you truly can be. Let go of who you were and focus on who you will become.
Every morning you wake up, remind yourself that you have another opportunity to experience your greatest day. Another opportunity to push yourself. Another opportunity to set an example. Another opportunity to learn something that will make you better. Another opportunity to enjoy the day, to enjoy other people, to enjoy life. You are blessed to get the opportunity of life. Make the most of it.
Create the best version of you. Start today.
Powerful piece there. It's okay to start over. It's okay to start all over. Well, folks, this is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. My name is Diamond Slanger. We're also being relayed on other stations across the country. For those of you watching us all around the world via Spoon TV, like Papa Utia, love to say good morning to you. Samuel and Yuma, how are you doing, Samuel? And Joseph Joker Jr. is watching us from Pinsville SKD Sports Complex. D Monrovia is also following us via YouTube. Love to say good morning, good afternoon, and pleasant night or evening to you wherever it is you watching us from. Just leave a comment and we will also make it interactive here on the show. So what do we have lined up for you? We have the day up segment. That's where we play you the motivational audio, as I just did. We also bring you the Central Bank of Liberia's daily Forex exchange rate so that you be on par to know, what is the rate, the Forex exchange rate out there. We'll also bring you the prices of some essential commodities. We'll give you the flight schedule for the day at the Roberts International Airport, as well as we'll cut across Liberia after that to speak to our counter correspondents to know what exactly are those things happening across the country. Remember, Monrovia is not Liberia. We move to trending issues. A lot of trending issues happening across the country. Definitely will bring you up to speed and discuss those trending issues as well. Trending issues such as this one. What's happening in the country when it comes to the issue of guns? Who's got guns? Who's refusing to, to turn over their weapon? How many persons were issued weapons? And it has got across the entire facet of the country. Everybody's talking about this. Is now the subject of debate.
Instructions from our former boss, Chokwa Rakabas, issued ASC tester. He was rating by the same man who gave us instructions to issue a firearm, a letter to return firearm. He received copy of the letter, and then the director informed me and said, "We copy the letter." I even placed a call to him on the 25th of January, but he did not pick my call. I called him 2-3 times, he did not pick my call. He returned the call. Is that a routine practice? Sometimes the administrator comes and they have their own staff. So there was an instructions for him, and he's the boss. We could not say no. Sometimes we argue with him. The director says, "Do this, you got to do it."
Madam Esther Chi is the director of armory and weapons instructions there at the EPS. She was in conversation last night on our flagship program Spoon Talk as news broke from the EPS through its director, Sam Gay, labeling the former executive director of the Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment, LACE, and one of President Weah's top aides as wanted for illegal possession of a firearm that was given to him by the EPS. We'll talk about that in detail. We'll go in depth. We'll do 360 analysis on the whole issue surrounding the whole Pepsi Yeke gun saga. Pepsi, also Mr. Yeke, because we're not friends, I don't want to call him by first name basis. Mr. Yeke responded, on his official Facebook page. There was another news linking again Mr. Yeke to an alleged shooting, stating that his bodyguard, he also came up to debunk that story. We'll talk about all that and more concerning this whole firearm issue as we reach to the trending issues segment here on the show. We'll also start off on trending issues with the mining, illegal mining or illicit mining of sand. It's leaving deadly repercussions. I read a story this morning on the Liberian Observer about a historic site in Grand Bassa County that's being ravished by illegal sand mining. You don't have to look far to the effects of illegal sand mining and how we're going to live with that years and years after. The sad story of illegal sand mining in our country and how companies are getting away with this. When it comes to the mining sector, how regulated is our mining sector in our country, and how much of the illegal activities go unreported and those benefiting at the detriment of the people residing in those areas that are affected. We'll talk about that beautiful piece rating there in the Liberian Observer. I must give it to them. The Daylight did a beautiful story. We'll talk about that later on the show as well. 7 more confirmed by the Liberian Senate. All of Boykai's nominees are getting the green mark. They're checking them. Come for confirmation. Oh, I'll let you be in here. The way you smile and color you well. Okay, you minister. Okay, you deputy minister. Honorable Boykai, President Boykai is getting his wish so far with the Liberian Senate. He's getting his way with the Liberian Senate. All of his nominees have been confirmed. Does this speak to the impeccable vetting and appointment skills of the President of the Republic of Liberia, that he's putting forth the best brains, and so the Senate is just giving them a free pass? They're presenting good portfolios, they're presenting good programs, they're presenting good agendas. They come with profiles that are thick, like, a whole dossier of documents. Or is it just letting the president have his way? We'll talk about that as well, as 7 more nominees have been confirmed by the Liberian Senate on yesterday. We also want to get in conversation with Representative Yeke Koluba, as there is a letter circulating on social media where the representative of District Number 10 is calling for the expulsion. Yes, I said the word expulsion. Is calling for them to expel President Boykai from the Unity Party. We'll read out that letter. We'll try to get in contact with Representative Koluba to authenticate whether or not he wrote and sent such letter. And if so, why is he calling for? If he can authenticate that, yes, indeed, it is Yeke Koluba of District Number 10 who indeed sent that letter, to explain to us the reasons behind such communication. We'll talk about that as well. We'll cut across the country, as I said, in Nimba County, a 38-year-old man has allegedly been beaten brutally by people believed to be LDEA officers for allegedly refusing to pay gate fee. Gate fee, when you reach to the gate, you have to pay something for the rope to drop. According to the reports we're getting from Saklipi City in Nimba County, this 38-year-old motorcyclist was reportedly, allegedly beaten brutally. We have the pictures, the graphic. I can show them to you. We'll do our best to blur out some of the graphic portions, for refusing to pay something gate fee. But Christopher Fan is going to give us the details of that particular story once we cut across Liberia and speak to our county correspondents as well. In Bapolu County, again, we'll be attempting to make contact with Senator Boto Kane. It is reported that huge amount of money, according to Senator Boto Kane, that was allocated for the county to buy earth-moving equipment. The money just said, I'm walking away. It disappeared. It went MIA. And she's blaming the former county local government officials for the money disappearing. So Solomon Tabler, our Bapolu County correspondent, is going to bring us up to speed with that story. Once he gives us the details of what's emerging from Bapolu County, we will attempt to contact Senator Boto Kane to hear her side of the story as well. Why is she making allegations allegedly or reportedly against the ousted county, the local county authorities concerning an amount of money that was allocated for earth-moving equipments there in Bapolu County? So, folks, that's what we have lined up for you on the show. We'll also be doing In Focus. We'll be taking a look at presidential appointees, nominees, their profile, what they bring to the table. And today we'll kickstart with the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, the Chief of Staff designate of the Armed Forces of Liberia. We'll take a deeper dive into his profile for you to know who has been appointed as the Chief of Staff, nominated as the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Plus, we'll go to the phone lines and you can tell us what's on your mind. You can react to these trending issues as well. Okay, so let's move on with the show. That is the lineup right there for you. According to BBC Weather, it promises to be sunny today with gentle breeze with temperatures ranging from 33 degrees Celsius, that is the highest, to 22 degrees Celsius, that is the lowest, from 8 a.m. this morning to 6 p.m. this evening. The forecast is sunny, bright and clear skies with gentle breeze. Throughout the course of the night, we should expect clear skies with gentle breeze, for which we appreciate during the course of the night when LEC carry their current. You know, we need the breeze as well. Let's move to the daily Forex exchange rate from the Central Bank of Liberia. According to the CBL's latest update as of the 5th of February 2024, the buying rate, that is Liberian dollars equivalent to USD, is 189 Liberian dollars equivalent to $1 United States dollar. And that is 5 USD gives you 945 Liberian dollars according to the Central Bank of Liberia. The selling rate, that is, you taking Liberian dollars to buy United States dollars, the selling rate according to the CBL is 191 Liberian dollars equivalent to $1 United States dollar. Just quickly for traffic updates, you should expect some not really congested traffic from Catholic Junction going all the way to Vamuma House. It's not really what I want to term as traffic congestion. I want to term that as a go slow. You should also expect around just the Freeport Japanese Freeway intersection right about there. You should expect a little bit of go slow because of vehicles turning off and on the Freeport to the Gibraltar Bridge, corridor there as well. Little bit of traffic, go slow again. The red light area, the central business district of red light, you should expect some traffic congestion as well. All right, with that being said, let's now move on quickly to the flight schedule for the day at the Roberts International Airport. Who's flying out? Who's touching down? According to the flight schedule from Flight Radar 24, that is where we get our flight schedule for the day to share with you every morning on this show. For arrivals, we kickstart with arrivals today at the Roberts International Airport. We have Air Peace, flight number P47536 from Accra, Ghana. That flight landed at the Roberts International Airport at 3:14 a.m. this morning. Also for arrivals this morning at the Roberts International Airport, Royal Air Maroc, flight number AT563 from Casablanca, Morocco. That flight landed in Liberia at 2:55 a.m. according to Flight Radar 24. Also for arrivals, today's schedule at the Roberts International Airport is Aska Air, flight number KP20 from Accra, Ghana. That flight is scheduled to arrive in the country at 5:50 p.m. Lastly, for arrivals today at the Roberts International Airport is Brussels Airlines, flight number SN241 from Freetown, Sierra Leone. That flight arrives in the country at 8:20 p.m. That does it for arrivals. Let's go now to departures from the Roberts International Airport. Air Peace, flight number P47536, destination Accra, Ghana. That flight departed from the Roberts International Airport at 4:15 a.m. this morning. Those folks already touched down in Accra, Ghana. 1 hour 45 to 2 hours flight time there. Royal Air Maroc, flight number AT563, destination Casablanca, Morocco. That flight departed at 4:09 a.m. this morning. Ascar Air, flight number KP21, destination Accra, Ghana. That flight departs from the Roberts International Airport at 7:30 p.m. And lastly, for departures from the RIA is Brussels Airlines, flight number SN243, destination Brussels, Belgium. That flight is scheduled to depart from the Roberts International Airport at 9:40 p.m. tonight. So that does it for the flight schedule today at the Roberts International Airport. Our source is Flight Radar 24. So if you go in there for your family, or you're supposed to meet somebody at the airport to pick them up, it's always good you be there at least 1 hour ahead of time, so that it's a frustrating thing when you arrive in the country and someone's supposed to pick you up and the person is not around. You have to be looking left, right, and center. The airport is not as dangerous as you want to put it that way, but there are always people looking to make a quick buck. There are always people looking to prey on others who can find their way around, so it's always good to be there and make sure you receive your relatives and friends to avoid them going through that, whatever that they go through at the airport there. So that does it for the day of segment here on the show. We'll take a short commercial break. When we get back, we'll cut across Liberia and speak to our county correspondents to know what are those things happening across the country. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. My name is Diamond Slang. I'm presenting today. Kudos to Yekezi and Emmanuel David, as well as Lorena Honoree, for holding down the fort, while I was away from this show. It's a good thing to be back. Let's take this short break. Once we get back, we'll be speaking to our correspondents across the country to know what's happening in other parts of Liberia. We'll be back right after this break.
Keep off your excitement. Football fanatics, AFCON 2024 is upon us, promising on
Okay, folks, welcome back from the commercial break. We do need to make money as well for the network. So you welcome back from the commercial break. Remember to keep playing the radio game by dialing *799 hash. Select Spoon FM number 3. That is number 3 is Spoon FM. Pay with your Liberian dollar account or your US dollars account and stand the chance of winning 2,500 Liberian dollars this Wednesday morning for yourself. All you need to do is to dial *799 hash, select number 3 Spoon FM. Don't select different stations. I select a Spoon. Select Spoon. That way you appear on our dashboard as well. The more you play, the better your chances of winning. Now let's cut across Liberia and speak to our county correspondents. We begin from Nimba County, where Christopher Fan is on the standby for us, where it has been reported that a 38-year-old man, a motorcyclist, was reportedly brutalized by 7 or so men believed to be LDA agents after he had refused to pay gate fee. What is gate fee in the first place? Why is refusal to paying gate fee, if that's what actually went down, or amount to you brutalizing someone? We also want to speak with the spokesperson of the LDEA as well, to find out whether or not they've received any complaint from Saclipia there in Nimba County concerning a man being brutalized for reportedly refusing to pay gate fee. Good morning to you, Christopher Fan. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Damon, and good morning to the Spoon FM family this morning.
All right. How is Saclipia City?
Well, Saclipia is okay. Just in the past few days, it has been very cool. Like we are living some part of Europe.
Why is it get snow in Saclipia sometimes?
No, that you get by.
Oh, it get snow, you get by. Whoever thought that thing is snow, the pagan didn't miss there 4 years, it gets snow. But anyway, what's the story surrounding this 38-year-old man reportedly brutalized by men believed to be LDA agents? What's going on? What happened?
Yeah, so yesterday about 7:00 p.m., a 38-year-old man identified as Aaron Ben, a motorcyclist, came from the route of a barn, headed for Saclipia end. According to information, when he got at the checkpoint, they normally are doing checkpoint. Those guys normally collect $150 LD from each cyclist that pass through that checkpoint. So they asked him for a gate job according to the information, and he said he was not having money to job that gate. So against this backdrop, the man man believed to be a DA officer, said he wanted to search his bag, his belonging. So the guy said, but I'm not carrying anything illegal according to information. So right after that, the DA officer decided to go and take the bag and do a search on your own. So he was resisted by this Aaron Bear guy. He said nobody going to check a bag and nobody going to take a bag and carry it anywhere. So while the DA officer was making an attempt to take the bag, he decided to stop him. So while stopping the DA officer, he felt offended and he brutalized him. And as we speak, Aaron Bear is on a serious critical condition at the Secretary Comprehensive Health Center in Nimba.
There is a conflicting issue concerning the number of persons who had beaten on reportedly Aaron Ben. How many persons?
Well, according to the eyewitnesses on ground, it was a single person, but all of those guys that came in the rescue of their police never partake in the person. When they reached on ground, they felt, Aaron was on the ground bleeding, so they all started to rally around and see how best they can rush Aaron to the hospital for quick treatment.
Okay, so now we got that fact straightened out that only one person, reportedly a DEA officer, brutalized this civilian for resisting a search of his bag, right?
Yeah, sure.
So what was used? Did he use his hands reportedly to beat on the motorcyclist, or he used a stake or whatever? What was used in the act?
According to those that were on the scene, he used his bare hand and he punched him several times on his mouth. and he received a lot of wound on his mouth. As we speak, 6 stitches were given to him at the hospital.
6 stitches.
Yeah.
What's been said about this person who's believed to be a DEA operative or officer? Well, where is he now?
The CSD commander for Sacramento Police Detail, Inspector Lee Swat Johnson, said that they sent communication to the DEA commander in Pan because they were the DEA officer who alleged beating, who brutalized Aaron work. So they are currently they are sending a communication to the DEA commander in Pan to turn over this DA officer in prison because when the incident took place last night, according to information, he left the scene. His location was unknown. So it is this morning they're trying to establish his well-being, his current location.
Okay. And how is Aaron doing? Latest report, is he recovering?
Yeah, so Aaron, this morning when I visited the hospital, he started talking to people, but his voice is not actually coming up the right way, but at least he opened his eye and he was able to identify a few of his family members.
We wish him a speedy recovery and we hope this matter will be looked into. But you said the guy who's believed to be a DEA officer uses bare hands?
Bare hand.
And would like him boxers in the country?
No. So the guy used a band and then he punched the guy several times on his head and his mouth.
Okay. Any other thing happening there in Sacramento aside, DEA versus motorcyclists, boxing match, or any other thing?
No, not at all. So we closely following some other activities. Maybe hopefully tomorrow we'll update the platform.
What about the pickup issue? The turning over of the 75 motorbikes as well. Any improvements in that?
The turning over of 75 motorbike, the county inspector, when we placed a call to him yesterday, he said he will address the press on that issue on the turning over 75 motorbike to the current administration. Something he said verbally that those motorbikes were purchased for the use of local government in the county. So while some of them are also claiming that it was given to them based on campaign activity. And the county inspector also made us understand that the pickup in question was given to the superintendent on Nelson Parkway for repair work. So he don't have knowledge whether this pickup has been sold to another person, but the one that was given to him, he have turned the paper over to the county administration. He's currently parked at the headquarters in Sanikore. But for the superintendent, the vehicle that was given to him for repair work, he can't speak to that because he's the superintendent of the county, and we need to get to him to find out what went wrong, whether the paper is at the garage or whether it was so.
Okay. All right, fine. As you said, it's an ongoing investigation. We've established one fact that the county inspector has said the pickup was given to the soup for repair. So you have to now reach to the superintendent and find out where is the vehicle in question, whether it has been repaired, whether it has been turned over, or it's still in the garage as well. We need to follow up on these stories as they pique the interest of the listening population as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Christopher found there updating us from Sacramento City there in Nimba County. Let's go to Bapolu, where it's reported that 400,000 United States dollars allocated to purchase earth-moving equipment for the county. D7 bulldozers, the rest of those earth-moving equipment that they can use. The Magon MIA. That's according to Senator Boto Kane. But we have Solomon Tabler on the line. Good morning, Solomon. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Dama, and good morning to Liberians across both in home and abroad.
How is Bapolu this morning?
Bapolu is good.
It's snowing there? Fancy is snowing in Sacramento, so I wonder whether it's snowing in Bapolu.
No. Bapolu, we don't have snow in Bapolu. We're experiencing a little good sunshine this morning.
Nice. What's the latest coming out of Bapolu County? 400,000. What is the story around our 400,000?
Yeah, Damo, during the last county council sitting in Bapolu, there was this 400,000 United States dollars was allotted. They were resoluted to purchase some earth-moving equipment, and that decision was made by citizens of the county to have some of those feeder roads, some of those roads that will usually being damaged by maybe the rainy season, for them to do some rehabilitation work on the various roads, because the county got to know renting earth moving equipment to do some of those work, it will be costly. So since they got this amount, some 1,050,000 United States dollars was resoluted for the county council sitting, and that county council sitting was held on June 4th of last year. So from that money, they resoluted that 400,000 to purchase like bulldozer, like excavator, and dump truck, and the rest of them, so that they could use it for the county to be able to rehabilitate some of those roads. But since the county sitting in last June, that money was resoluted, we have not heard about anything about those yellow machine or those earth moving equipment that was resoluted. So during the week, the senator of Bapolu, Madam Botokane, came into the county to inform the women, because the women were having their annual meeting. So she informed the women. She said, even the 400,000 that was resoluted from the last county sitting, we have not heard anything about it. So this is about time the women need to pull together so that we can have peace in this county, and those who are responsible, so we can go after them.
She said they've not heard anything. Is she speaking as a member of the legislative caucus, that the Bapolu County Legislative Caucus, they haven't heard anything about the 400,000 allotted to purchase earth moving equipment, or the money is unaccounted for? Which is which?
Currently, as we speak, or what she said the money, according to information she got, that the money was given to a vendor to get those earth moving equipment. But since then, they have not heard of everything, and she even shifted the blame on the local authorities, who are now expected to be going out.
So the blame now has been apportioned onto the local authorities. That is the superintendent for physical affairs, the soup for developmental affairs, and all of the local government structure,
and also the project management committee.
Since that statement was made, what rebuttal have you heard from those local government officials that the senator has said they're responsible for the county not hearing anything to do with the 400,000 United States dollars allotted to purchase earth moving equipment?
Since the statement was made, we have not heard from any of those local authorities, because currently none of them in the county. They are currently in the nation's capital. We don't know for which or for what reason they are in the county. They are out of the county. But since the disclosure was made by Senator Botokane, we have not heard from any of them. Okay.
All right. Any other thing there in Bapolu happening? We try to connect with Senator Botokane. We try calling her number. It's apparently the call's not going through, but we'll try again so that we can hear from her as well. These allegations coming in surrounding 400,000 allotted for earth moving equipment. Whether or not the vendor has purchased, she should have the information. Whether it has not been purchased, whether it's on the sea coming to Liberia and slow or whatever it is, we want to find out. But any other thing there from Bapolu?
Yeah, Diamond, one of the major roads that leads to Bapolu, to be specific, that lead to Bapolu City from Tottenberg and even from Monrovia, is expected to be cut, because we have this bridge in one of the towns called Bambuta. And Bambuta bridge, that bridge is really terrible, because usually those heavy trucks are using our route, and the bridge is currently being cut, because in time past, we had this motorcyclist who was leaving from Monrovia, coming to the county, and mistakenly fell in that bridge and died instantly in that bridge. So the motorcyclists of Bapolu, the Liberia Motorcycles Union of Liberia, which is the LMTU, Bapolu branch are now calling on the local authorities and calling on the government because they are planning to place a roadblock as soon as possible, if possible tomorrow. Because when I spoke with the advisor of the LMTU Bapolu branch, he made us understand that he will be able to get bulk of those motorcyclists that are using that route because the bridge poses serious threat to the lives of some motorcyclists, knowing the fact that one of their colleagues died in that bridge.
What's the structural makeup of the bridge? Is it cement? Is it steel? Or is it stakes?
Diamond, the bridge was constructed using cement. But on top of the bridge itself, they only lay the fiddles on the bridge by cement, but they use planks. Currently, as we speak, we have planks on that bridge. And they have to be fixing that planks or to reconstruct those planks after every 6 months. But so we move on to the same county sitting. There was 150,000 allotted for that bridge construction. But up to present, we have not heard from the PMC, neither the local authorities as to when that bridge will be constructed officially.
So 150,000 United States dollars was allotted, to towards the construction of the Babuta bridge. And up to now, you're talking about a council sitting that occurred in June of last year.
In June, yes.
And up to now, you haven't heard anything. You haven't seen any construction works being done. Did the motorcyclists die prior to the county council sitting or after the county council sitting?
The motorcyclist died after the county council sitting because he died in November of last year, and the county sitting was held on June 4th of last year. So to answer the question, yes, it was after the county sitting when the motorcyclist died.
Okay. All right, Solo. Thank you for updating us there from Bapolu County. We want to see if we can try to connect with Senator Boto Kane to find out what's the status of these allegations so far. But we appreciate you updating us there from Bapolu.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Solomon Tibla reports for the Spoon Network from Bapolu County. He's based in Bapolu City. Let's see if we can move to Maryland before we attempt contacting Senator Boto Kane of Bapolu County to speak to these issues concerning the 400,000 United States dollars, which was allotted in June of last year for the Bapolu County, local authorities to purchase earth moving equipment to be able to make sure they are equipped enough to rehabilitate open, feeder roads in the county. And up to present, according to Solomon, which was said by Senator Boto Kane, those earth moving equipment having been purchased. But let's see if we can go to Maryland quickly and talk to Christian Appiton. If we can get Appiton on the line, we'll speak with him. We attempt going to Bong, we attempt going to Grand Bassa, Grand Jide, and other parts of Nimba County where we have our correspondents, as well as River G, and as many counties as we can, as long as we can get our correspondents on the line this morning. That is, if the network permits us to get them on the line. Let's see if we have got Christian Appiton. Good morning, Appiton. How are you?
Yes, I'd like to say good morning, Ambassador. I'm doing relatively calm by the grace of God.
How is Maryland?
Maryland is perfect as always. No complaint. Everybody's just managing it. God managing us. Everybody's doing this all number thing here this morning.
What was the reaction of Marylanders when the ousted speaker defeated Representative candidate Buford Chambers, donated a presidential ambulance to President Boakai? What was said in the corridors there of Maryland County?
Specifically in Maryland County, when lots of people got to hear the information concerning the donation of an ambulance, presidential ambulance, to the president, His Excellency Joseph Yamabata. Actually,
Christian, you're coming in muffled. If you have the phone close to your mouth, you want to remove, create a bit of distance so that we can hear you clearly, sir.
Okay, am I much better?
Far better than when you started. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so like you put it, the reaction from lots of citizens in the county upon hearing that the former speaker has donated a buck to the president. Actually, what we did hear from residents of Maryland County was like, why this time around? The speaker is trying to do it. Is it that he wants to buy favor, or is it that he wants for
ambulance can buy favor?
Yeah, but that's the kind of reaction coming from them. And also, why should it be ambulance? Why should it be ambulance when the president health is the most talked about in the country, and most people continue to talk about his health? So why ambulance? Why not anything different but ambulance? Is it that he wishing the president something else, or what's going on? So lots of people continue to show that kind of reaction, in the county.
Mixed reactions as to why now and why an ambulance. Why couldn't it have been a presidential pen? Why couldn't it have been, something else, but rather an ambulance? Well, we'll talk about that later on. I did see a report of a 4-bedroom house that was gutted by fire. Any casualties? Bring us up to speed with how that happened and what time did it happen?
Yes, it was yesterday morning. Yesterday morning by 1 o'clock in the evening, in the night. When the people in the house, about 2 families, in the house, got to know that the house, got hit by fire. Because in the county we have the inconsistency of power. Electricity continue to go off, come on, goes off, come on. So when power went off, after coming back, they noticed that the wire was like burning, but they took it lightly. So later on, we saw the fire entering the house. We saw the eruption of fire, the roof of the house color of fire, and then they thought to yell to call people to their aid. And then most of the disadvantaged young people, normally they stay in the streets, up to 3 o'clock in the morning, up to 4 o'clock in the morning. There were people who went to their aid, trapped off in the sense. 7 families are left homeless now. And in that house, they had a warehouse there where a businessman called Julie Thomas, he very next to the place, he maintains the New Down Entertainment here in Cleveland District. All his goods got burnt, and even Mr. Young, some of his goods in the warehouse there too. Everything got burnt. We have in the mineral water, we had the dicky bags. Everything got burnt, even rice, even salt. Just yesterday by 6 o'clock in the morning, I saw residents pouring salt. Even the salt, everything got damaged, in the place. But as it stands, there's no casualty, only just minor wounds on one Judy Thomas, who had a warehouse in the area there. While struggling to off the fire, he fell down and had a minor wound. But as you said, 7 families are left homeless because we have 2 family members, 2 families, in our area. The area had, in a warehouse. So lots of people continue to raise alarm, continue to raise concern about why is it a fire incident continue to go on in the country, most especially because it's been something that we've been hearing severally. And as it stands, since we went there, we tried to interrogate the people as it relates to what's happening, what has happened, and told us. But then we tried to ask them whether there was any, fire service personnel that have gone to their aid. Up to now, according to them, no fire service personnel, has gone to their aid. So it's something that they are so disappointed of, it's something that they are feeling disappointed because issue like that, they expect, even the fire service or personnel from the fire service detachment. Since Maryland
is there a fire engine in Maryland County? Do you have fire trucks there?
I have not seen any. But we have the detachment here in the county.
So how do the detachment respond to fire incidents there in Maryland? You said you've not seen, so I don't want to take it as a definite answer as there is none. So I'll leave it as until you can verify and see, whether or not there is a fire engine. But in the absence of that, how does the fire detachment there in Maryland, how do they respond to fire incidents? Using what?
I must admit, it's something that lots of people continue to raise concern of, raise concern about, because since fire incidents, been happening in the county, they are not on record of being successful in, going to the aid of victims, in making sure that the post situation under control until the people themselves can do all they can, to off the fire or the fire off by itself, by itself, in the case.
All right, Christian, thank you.
Okay, Ambassador.
All right, Christian Apeton there reporting from Maryland County. We want to see if we can connect with Senator Boto Kane of Bapolu County. See if we can get her on the line before we move to the rest of the counties we have lined up this morning. So let's see if we can get Senator Kane on the line. We want to take a short commercial break, just one ad to play, as we try to establish contact with Bapolu County Senator Honorable Boto Kane. We'll be back right after this. All right, folks, thank you so much for bearing with us that minute. We tried making contact with Madam Boto Kane, Honorable Boto Kane, Senator of Bapolu County, and successfully we have her on the line to speak to the issue of 400,000 United States dollars that was reportedly given to the local authorities to purchase earth-moving equipment for the county. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning, Diamond.
Thank you. I'm fine, ma'am. Sorry for that. Thank you for honoring our call this morning. It was abrupt, but at least you've made yourself available. Thank you.
Thank you, too.
All right. Senator Kane, what is the story behind 400,000 United States dollars allotted during the last county council sitting for earth-moving equipment there in Bapolu County?
Well, this is about the public. The problem of Senator Kane, she don't speak on the say. Yesterday we went to a meeting, the caucus went to a meeting, and we decided to call the PMC to get the best understanding from there. That's what they are saying. We all are saying it's Romans, but you have to get it from the houses now. So tomorrow by 3 o'clock we're supposed to meet with the PMC and the other people to see how best we can get the understanding from there.
Okay, but was 400,000 allotted for earth-moving equipment, yellow machine?
Well, Diamond, if I say yes, I will be lying. If I say no, that's it, because I went to the county sitting. The money that was allotted for the yellow machine, I don't know because of what happened in the sitting. During the sitting, rather. During the sitting, we have 1,050,000 United States dollars. The way the money was dished up, it brought tears to me and sorrow because as you can see, our people in the county, they are suffering. Then the caucus dish up the money the way they wanted to. For me, I told them I was not going to sign. I walked out of the meeting because of what happened. You cannot, for God's sake, you cannot give 2,000 United States dollars to 150 motorcyclists. What do you expect them to do with that money? They just share that money and buy maybe Kobo or something whatsoever.
Okay, we lost Senator Kane there. Let's see if we can reconnect with her. We had on the line Senator Boto Kane of Bapolu County. speaking in relation to reported amount, though she said she cannot speak to the actual amount, but it's been heralded that is 400,000 United States dollars. She admitted to being in the county council sitting, but had to leave, according to her, because of the way monies were being disbursed that brought tears to her eyes. So let's see if we can get Senator Cannon back on the line. It might be a network connectivity issue. Let's see if we can get her on the line. But what I heard her say is the fact that there is a meeting slated for tomorrow involving the project management committee of the county to give updates on the monies that were disbursed during the last county council sitting. We also want to speak to Senator Cannon concerning the status of the Botota Bridge there in Bapolu County, as reported by Solomon Tabler, that motorcyclists are planning to stage a roadblock because that bridge is getting more damaged by the day. Sadly, a motorcyclist lost his life last November, according to what was reported by Solomon Tabler. It's difficult to get Senator Cannon. The call keeps bouncing, but we'll try again for a minute. If we don't get her, we will then do other things here planned on this show. But it will be good if we can get Senator Cannon on the line to provide us better clarity on the issue. Okay, so probably she's trying to call us back because we got a busy tune. So we want to anticipate that Senator Cannon is going to call us to talk on the show. Morning. All right, so thankfully we have Senator Boto Cannon back on the line. Thank you for rejoining us, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you were talking about how the people was the caucus was sharing the money and it brought tears to your eyes. That's where we dropped the line.
Yeah, it brought tears and sorrow to me. So I couldn't stand it. To tell you that how much was Bishop was allocated for the yellow machine, I can't say that until tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I told you previously, I did not sign towards that resolution.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
And the total
So
amount that the
tomorrow,
country received was 1,050,000.
After the meeting tomorrow, you call me, I will respond to it.
Okay. There is also a report, Senator Cannon, that the Botota Bridge is damaged. That the bridge, if care is not taken, it will just cut in two and it will cause a serious transportation issue. And another amount of 150,000 was allotted for the rehabilitation of that bridge. Are you aware of the status of the Botota Bridge?
Not the Botota, but the Babu Bridge.
Yeah, Babu Town. Thank you. The Babu Town.
I just came from there a few days ago because I was there last week and I saw the condition of the bridge. I even went to the media and told the voice of Bapolu that they should stop all the heavy-duty cars from sliding that road. If not, there'll be a death trap for everybody. He and myself spoke on that. It's very serious. Bapolu, I think Spoon FM, I will be speaking to you people all the time now. Since I have been given the corridor to start from today. There's a serious problem with Bapolu, but I know the caucus that we are spent for now will do the best for that county.
So the previous caucus wasn't in the interest of Bapolu?
No, they wasn't in the interest of the people. And I told them, what you people are doing will haunt you tomorrow and haunted them. All three of them were out because of that.
So this new legislative caucus, you are quite sure that there will be a more harmonious relationship that will work for the people of Bapolu?
Yes, I'm sure, because of the acquaintance meeting we had yesterday. I'm sure we all will work together.
How serious, since you said the Babota Bridge is a serious risk and that heavy vehicles should stop plying on the bridge, the acquaintance meeting that you had, was it highlighted as to this bridge is an emergency and we need to get it done?
Yes. That's why we are calling them. We are calling them tomorrow, Thursday. Yes.
Okay, Senator Cannon. Any other news you want to give us, development from your county before we let go of you?
I just want to say thank you for Spoon Network. They are doing well for the people of Liberia. Not only our county, but for Liberia. So I want them to be strong, to continue doing the hard work.
Thank you, ma'am.
To spread the message around, because that's the only way our people will listen. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Senator Cannon. That is Bapolu County Senator Honorable Boto Cannon there speaking to issues surrounding 400,000 United States dollars allotted. She said she can speak to the amount because she didn't sign the resolution, but according to Solomon Tabler, 400,000 was allotted. Yes, she did admit that an amount was allotted, but they will be having a PMC meeting on tomorrow. That's the project management committee. They'll be meeting with them to know the status of the 400,000 or the amount that was allotted for the purchase of earth moving equipment. Also, the Bapolu Bridge is a serious transportation hazard there in Bapolu County. She said it's an emergency, and they'll meet on tomorrow to come up with how they can get that bridge rehabilitated and working for the people of Bapolu and Liberia at large. All right, this is the Today Show. We'll take a short commercial break. When we get back, we'll move to the trending issues happening in the country. We'll open a line for discussion. We'll also bring you the profile of the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, the Chief of Staff designate of the Armed Forces of Liberia. All of that coming up right after the break. Do stick and stay. Don't go away. This is your best choice for a morning show in Liberia. This is the show that brings it all to you. Everything that you need to know happening in the country.
Did you know that every minute of your life counts? Did you?
All right, folks, welcome back. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. We apologize to our many viewers watching us around the world for the poor audio quality that you just received as we went for commercials. That is due to the fact that some of these ads are carrying copyrighted songs, and if they loud as they should be, will face some issues with the owners of those intellectual properties. All right, so the time here is 8 minutes after 9 a.m. in Liberia. It's a sunny Wednesday morning. As I said, we will be profiling appointees of the Boyka administration, nominees of the Boyka administration, and we kickstart this segment that we've titled In Focus with the Chief of Staff Designate of the Armed Forces of the Republic of Liberia. It's in fine print, so I have to take my time to read his profile out for you. So remember, on the 1st of February 2024, President Joseph Yoman Boyka made additional appointments in government affecting the National Port Authority, that has got a new managing director in Honorable Sekou A. Dukle, the National Investment Commission, the Ministry of Defense, as well as the Armed Forces of Liberia and the Office of the President. But we'll focus on the issue of the Chief of Staff. So the President then nominated Colonel Davison T. Follett, promoted him to the rank of Brigadier General, and nominated him for the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia. The former Chief of Staff was then nominated to the position of Defense Minister, following suit with what President Weah did with the then Chief of Staff, Honorable Zianka, who's now an ambassador at large. So who is Brigadier General Davison T. Follett? Who is he? So we just go a bit into his profile. So Colonel Davison T. That's F. Follett is a senior officer of the newly reformed Armed Forces of Liberia. We know he joined the AFL in the year 2006. Yes, in 2006, he joined the Armed Forces of the Republic of Liberia. He formed part of the first recruitment that included the former defense minister, Honorable Zianka, as well. He was then, sent for officer training. He was a candidate for the officer training, the initial entry for training, that's the IET. He was an officer candidate as well. He then he was amongst the first batch to be sent for advanced training by the U.S. military in Quantico. For those of you who know and follow the CIA movies, Quantico is that their training area. They can carry people to go and train in Virginia in 2008. So he enlisted in the Armed Forces of Liberia in 2006. He was amongst the first batch of Liberians who was sent for advanced training in the United States of America, where he was trained in Quantico, Virginia in 2008, and later went on to complete other advanced military education and trainings, which included PASS Staff Course, PFC, Armed Forces Command and Staff College in Jaji, Kaduna, in Nigeria. That's where he went for the PASS Staff Course. He also passed the Junior Staff Course, JPFC, in Horton Academy, Sierra Leone. He went to the Company Commander Course in Saint-Jouan. Saint-Jouan Makenas Infantry Academy. That name tells you that it's China. He also, additionally, he holds several qualifications, in a wide range of security studies. He attended seminars, trainings, and the rest. He also has got a very, very large bulky profile, but I just want to stick to the needed facts as well. So he also attended international peacekeeping training as well. And Colonel Fuller obtained a Master's of International Affairs and Strategic Studies, MRASS, from the Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna State, Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2012. He also holds a Bachelor in Business Administration, the College of Business and Public Administration, the University of Liberia. He earned that in 2003. He also holds the following professional certificates: certificate in professional management from the Nigerian Institute of Management. He's also holding a certificate in management as well from the Institute of Public Administration and Management, the University of Sierra Leone. He's a graduate of the Monrovia Central High School class of 1989. So Colonel Fuller has served in several military positions. These include his most senior posting as the commissioned commander, the 23rd Infantry Brigade Commanding General, his current position as the Commandant Armed Forces Training Command, AFTC, and the Chief of Personnel, that's Chief U1 of the Combined United Nations Multi-Dimensional Integration Stabilization Mission in Mali. So he was the chief of the Combined United Nations Multi-Dimensional Integration Stabilization Mission in Mali, where he received the Force Commander Commendation Award. So he's a decorated soldier as well, not just decorated in Liberia, but due to his service in Mali, he was awarded and received the Force Commander Commendation Award at the Mamusa headquarters there in Mali. So he also, has been to Ethiopia and the rest. So that's just a brief, in-depth profile of the Chief of Staff designate of the Armed Forces of Liberia, Colonel Davidson F. Follett, or you can say Brigadier General Davidson F. Follett. Once that rank is conferred onto him officially, we've been hinted that is going to be done at the Armed Forces Day ceremony, where he will officially receive the rank of Brigadier General. So there you have it. We'll be bringing you profiles of nominees and political appointees, ministers, directors of SOEs, and the rest, so that you get to know who your officials are as they take the helm of affairs in this country. The time here is 15 minutes after 9 a.m. What you need to do is to keep playing the radio game, dial *799#, select Spoon FM number 3, pay by either using your USD wallet or your Liberian dollars wallet, and stand the chance of winning 2,500 Liberian dollars. Remember, the more you play, the better your chances of winning. Chuck Rundi Mali Kebu, the third, how are you doing? Ambassador Josiah Menson Slammy, how are you doing? Caroline Bebley is watching us from Claratown. Hope you're doing great. Annie Talu is also following us. Alex Tajile is also following us. O'Malley MS Lawrence is watching us. Ruth Topa is also watching us. Kante Roberts is following us as well. God Know God Time is also watching this morning. Richard T. Bobber is following us. Lai Kane watching, as well as Somowa Isaki is following to this morning. Chokon S Bible, Chokon S Bible is watching this morning. Once you're there, leave a comment and let's say hi to you before we move on to the trending issues segment of our show. Torba Toba is watching from Copenhagen in Denmark there. Amelia G. Tefle Gay is watching from Johnsonville. Mustafa M. Zulu is following us, as well as Mohammed Jallo says, good morning. Good morning to you, Mohammed. Florence Ma is also watching from Cardwell this morning. It's now time for trending issues. Tommy Lee is watching from Madrid. Yeah, if you're a Madrid fan, just forget it. Yeah. Kamara Silva Vafole is watching us from Congo Town, yeah, in Liberia. Hassan D. Johnson is watching. Kaifa Janga Kone. All right, to all of the folks following us, as well as Joby Ja. Well, there's a lot happening in the country, and we've selected a few to share with you. And I said we're going to talk about the issue of illegal sand mining, and I will share this article with you for you to read once you've got the time. It's an interesting piece concerning sand mining, illegal sand mining activities in the country. I came across this piece this morning, and it made for an interesting read, and hence I've decided, to share that with you this morning. So there is a reported sand mining illegal sand mining activity happening in Grand Bassa, Upper Buchanan, that is affecting a very historic site, according to the Liberian Observer. And this story is not just unique to what's happening in Upper Buchanan, but also happening across Liberia. And this site that is affected by this illegal mining activity is also the grave site of some of Liberia's forefathers, including Stephen Allen Benson, who served as Liberia's second president. But what is interesting to note is that if you read this piece, the company, the Chinese-owned company that is reportedly involved in this act, has got an ownership of a former representative, Tapariso Tamponwe of Margibi County. So the name of the company is Jatoken Mining Incorporated. And what they're doing in Upper Buchanan, according to this report, this piece, is that they are illegally mining sand. And the authors of this article, according to them, they reached out to the Ministry of Mines and Energy, and the ministry said, according to the article, this company did not have or does not possess any mining license in the country. The residents are complaining. This is just a tip of the iceberg as to what is happening in our country when it comes to illicit mining, whether it is the issue of illegally mining sand, or is illegally mining diamond or other minerals from under the earth, or is illegally carrying out logging activities in our country. But we have been proliferated by illegal mining activities in this country. Some of these activities are supported by highly placed individuals in our country. And it is leaving us with deadly repercussions, some of which we already starting to experience, others will experience later. Trees are being chopped down without any sort of regard, for reforestation. People just take mining equipment and go to places unregulated and start to mine sand. Foreigners are infringing on our rights in our country and doing a lot. And almost all of these activities, even when they are reported, there's nothing done, because some big hand somewhere is protecting somebody. What's supposed to benefit the entire population, if not those who are affected by those activities where these mining activities are ongoing, they do not benefit, is being pocketed by a few individuals. And if you follow these stories, I can tell you for sure, you receive a lot of phone calls. Some of those calls will be to induce you, others will be to threaten you. If you take a survey around and go even to some of these companies that are doing rock crushing, some of those that are mining sand, some of these that are mining natural resources like diamond, gold, and the rest, many of them don't even have licenses before we come to Class C, or what we call artisanal miners. Many. When we leave from the surface and beneath the surface, and we go to our waterways, there's a lot of illicit fishing activities happening in our country, because we allow for these things to happen first, and secondly, there is zero to little monitoring and evaluation. If you just take a tour, if you ride with the Coast Guard and you guys go on a patrol, you see that there are a lot of foreign vessels, fishing vessels, that are in our coastal line, that are in our water, Liberian territorial waters, and they're fishing illegally. They come with their drag nets and they take away stockpile of fish. We as the country will benefit nothing. Those who are aware, they benefit some. Some of the effects will feel We are already feeling like erosion. You know, you go to places, people's houses are being undermined by the erosion. The sea is encroaching and all of these things. You go to some communities, they wiped out. Wildlife wiped out. Where is the EPA on this? Where is the Ministry of Mines and Energy on this? Right in the city, in our own city center, there is a large activity of illicit sand mining. You see them in the pickup truck with the sand in a cement bag, and we patronize them. We want to do our construction, we go and buy. So we are also facilitating what is happening. Me, I want to know I can pay my labor for sand bag. So if there is a market for this, there will always be doers of the act. But again, all of this spill effect is because, one, we allow for these things to happen. Two, those that are entrusted with the authority to monitor, evaluate, and to carry out punitive measures, they settle for less. It's about what you can give me than what I can do for the country. And three, if we look at the high unemployment rate in the country, there's not so much of an absorbance of people. So people tend to do illegal things to survive. I encourage you to read that piece. I encourage the EPA to read that piece, to reach out to the Liberian Observer and get their story, see the company that is involved, check whether or not they are breaching environmental protocols, and if so, what would they do? The Ministry of Mines and Energy need to look into this, because even Marshall is happening. Other parts is happening. Many of you in your communities, you see some people just can't set up shop. They bring sand mining equipment. They just start mining the sand. Black sand is called. And they sell it to us, taking our own resources, stealing it from us, and selling it to us in return, and we buy. So that's a piece I just thought to share. But let's go to our main talking point this morning, and has got to do, we tried earlier calling Representative Yeke Koluba. We were unable to get him. We'll try to call him again. There is a letter circulating on social media, and we want to authenticate whether or not Representative Koluba is the author of that letter, whether he sent that letter. The letter is calling for the expulsion of President Boakai from the Unity Party. Let's see if we have Honorable Koluba on the line. Good morning, Honorable Koluba. Okay. Hello, good morning. All right, we were sent to voicemail. I'm sure we've sent him a text. He's going to call us back once he's available. We pray that he can speak to this issue on the show this morning. So the letter is circulating on social media. I'm trying to get the letter posted for those of you watching if you haven't seen it. And that letter, in that letter, is calling for the expulsion of President Boakai from the Unity Party. Let me read out the contents of the letter quickly, and I'll try to post it for those of you watching so you can see the letter as well. Yep, I'm trying to get that letter for you to read the content of the letter. If it is indeed coming from Representative Yeke Koluba of Monserrado County District number 10, that is what we're trying to authenticate. We're trying to call him so that he can speak to whether or not he authored any such letter calling for the expulsion of the standard bearer of the Unity Party, now President of the Republic of Liberia, Joseph Yuma Boakai Sr., whether he, Yeke Koluba, the representative of District number 10, Monserrado County, did write such a letter. And if so, why did he write such a letter, if he can confirm that he indeed wrote the letter. All right. So this is the letter. Is dated the 5th of February 2024, and it's addressed to the Executive Committee, Unity Party, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear distinguished members of the Executive Committee, I present you compliments and wish to draw your attention to a few issues that warrant the quick action of your party. They didn't say our party. It says of your party. So he's excluding himself. The author of this letter is excluding himself from being a member of the Unity Party. Meanwhile, I am amongst many persons that affiliated with the Unity Party during the 2023 elections on grounds that we wanted a change for the best. We supported your party because we saw it as the best alternative so that all Liberians can feel the positive impact of our country, which God has blessed us with. But one of the incidents of Ambassador Boyka is that during the campaign period, Ambassador Boyka promised that the 15 counties were to benefit ministerial position or constitute members of the cabinet. But his combination of his cabinet proved the other way, which is not what he told us. Again, it is our understanding that he is not making independent decisions, but being forced to make these decisions he is making. In view of the above, I plead with the executive committee of the Unity Party to ensure that Ambassador Boyka is expelled from your party or bring it to book as not to continue his action, which can bring the party to public disgrace. With sentiments of the highest anticipation, I remain sincerely yours, Honorable Yakewa Koluba, Representative Electoral District Number 10, Monserrado County, with a telephone number, and trying to call his number that we have, and we're unable to connect with the representative of District Number 10 to authenticate. This is a social media age where things can appear with people's names and signatures as well. So we want him to confirm to us whether or not he authored the letter. The number is his number that we have for him. The number that is on this sheet. This letter was received by one Mohammed B. Gray on the 6th of February 2024 at about 9:47 a.m. The number of the recipient of the letter is also there. So let's see if we cannot get Honorable Koluba. Let's see if we can get Mohammed B. Gray, who received the letter, to tell us whether or not this communication did come from Honorable Yeke Koluba of District Number 10, stating in this communication that the president does not make independent decisions, that he's being coerced, and he's not living up to his promise that his cabinet would have reflected the makeup of our country, and as such calling for his expulsion from the Unity Party. Whether that is going to happen, but let's see if we can get Mohammed Gray to speak to us on whether or not such a letter was received by the Unity Party and who sent in that particular letter. That is what we want to know. We're unable to get Honorable Koluba, so let's see if we can get Mohammed Gray on the line. Give us a minute, please. Remember to keep playing the radio game. Dial *79 hash. Select Spoon FM number 3, and then play either using your Liberian dollars account or your United States dollars account. Give us a minute. Let's see if we can get Mr. Gray to speak to us. All right, folks, as we said, we didn't get Honorable Koluba on the line, but we've gotten Mohammed Gray, whose name and number is on that communication that states that he received the communication. Good morning to you, Mr. Mohammed Gray. How are you this morning?
Good morning, and good morning to you and also listening out there.
All right. Can you kindly tell us which institution do you work for and what's your position?
Okay. I'm work in the office of Senator Bapolu, Development Banding Fatla of the County. I'm one of the staffers. So if I have experience now, probably haven't been for registration. So position is not over.
Okay. All right. So you work in the office of Grand Cape Mount County Senator Honorable Daba Vabla, right?
Yeah.
And is she a member, an executive member of the Unity Party?
Yes, she's the senior vice chair of the party.
She is the
vice chair of administration for the party.
Okay. So in that light, she receives communications on behalf of the party?
It is not on behalf of the party. It is still communication on behalf of the party, even though the communication was directed directly to her.
Okay. All right. So did you receive any communication wherein is calling for the expulsion of President Boyka from the United Party on yesterday?
I did receive a communication, and communication I received, I presented it to the senator. So I cannot discuss the merit or the content of the communication.
Okay. Who sent in that communication?
Communication came from the office of Honorable Kodoga.
Okay. And you confirming to us that the communication came from the office of Honorable Yeke Koluba.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's talk a bit about this whole issue of the communication. How many communications did you sign for on yesterday between 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning?
I forgot. Yesterday, I remember me signing for 3 different communications, and on October communication was one of those communications.
Okay. Was it the only one that you signed for around 9:45 a.m.?
That was the only one I signed for at that time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gray. Thank you for speaking with us.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So since we couldn't get Honorable Koluba on the line, this is the individual who signed on the communication as a recipient of the communication, and he just confirmed that he works in the office of Grand Cape Mount County Senator Senator Daba Vabla, who is the vice chair for administration of the Unity Party. And so we want to share this communication with those of you watching as well, so that you can see it in this communication that he did clarify came from the office of Representative Yeke Koluba. Is calling for the expulsion of the standard bearer of the Unity Party, Joseph Yuman Boyka, president of the Republic of Liberia, based on 2 counts. That count number 1, he promised that his cabinet would have reflected the political subdivision of the country. That is not happening according to the communication. And secondly, that he's being influenced, he's being induced into making decisions that are not of his own, makeup, according to the communication. The reason I do not want to pin this communication to Representative Yeke Koluba is the fact that we haven't gotten him on the line to confirm. Something can come for your office, but you cannot be aware of it. It can carry your name and your number as its original number that we have, but you can also not be aware of it. And we want Representative Koluba, who doesn't mince his words, to tell us whether or not he, altered or, gave the green light for such a communication to be altered and sent to the office of the vice chair for administration of the Unity Party, Grand Cape Mount County Senator Daba Vabla. Well, this is the communication. I'm trying to put it up for those of you watching to see, and I've already read the content. For those of you listening to the radio, we'll move to the Pepsi Yeke issue later in a minute or two once I upload this picture, and we'll talk about this whole issue of bring a gun, don't bring a gun, bring a gun, I will not bring a gun, I am in the country, I receive formal communication. So this is the letter here. As you can see, we called Mohammed Gray, his number and everything is here. He signed for the communication around 9:45 a.m. So that is the letter right there. I'll read it again quickly before we move on with the next talking point, and we'll activate the phone lines for you to call in and state what's on your mind as well. Remember to keep playing the radio game. Dial *799#. Select Spoon FM number 3. It's only for Lone Star Cell MTN subscribers. Use your mobile money, pay and win. If you just pay your cool money, you can win 2,500 Liberian dollars. So this is the communication dated February 5, 2024. As you can see, signed at the right top, received by Mohammed B. Gray, With the time is 9:47 a.m. the 6th of the second month 2024. Yes. Also, it's addressed to the Executive Committee, Unity Party, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear distinguished members of the Executive Committee, I present you compliments and wish to draw your attention to few issues that warrant the quick action of your party. Meanwhile, I'm amongst many persons that are affiliated with the Unity Party during the 2023 elections on grounds that we wanted a change for the best. We supported your party because we saw it was the best alternative so that Liberians can feel the positive impact of our country, which God has blessed us with. But one of the incidents of Ambassador Boyka is that during the campaign period, Ambassador Boyka promised that the 15 counties were to benefit ministerial position or constitute members of the cabinet. But his combination of his cabinet proved the other way, which is not what he told us. Again, it is our understanding that he's not making independent decisions, but being forced to make these decisions that he's making. In view of the above, I plead with the Executive Committee of the Unity Party to ensure that Ambassador Boyka is expelled from your party or bring him to book so as not to continue his action, which can bring your party to public disgrace. With sentiments of the highest anticipation, I remain sincerely yours, Honorable Yeke Y. Koluba, Representative Electoral District Number 10, Monserrado County. So I'm trying again once more to see if I can get Representative Yeke Koluba on the line to speak to this letter. Whether or not he authored the letter, he gave the authorization for the letter to be authored, printed, and sent, signed by him. Let's see if we have him on the line. Good morning. Let's see if we have Representative Koluba on the line. All right, so give me a minute. Let me talk to him background, and I'll get back here quickly. All right, folks, we've been unable to get in connection with Representative Yeke Koluba, but you can rest assured that we'll try to make contact with him. And tomorrow we could bring him on the show to speak to this letter as well. I've gotten backroom information that he did confirm to other media outlets that indeed, he authored the letter. And this letter is calling for the expulsion of President Joseph Yuman Boyka from the Unity Party on grounds that he's not making decisions of his own volition. He's being influenced, he's being induced, or if he cannot be expelled, then the Unity Party should bring to book, should call to order the President of the Republic of Liberia, who is their first partisan as well. Right, to wrap up on our presentation for this morning before we move to the phone lines. On yesterday, this communication surfaced on social media. We got this communication, and it came from the director of the EPS, Director Sam Gay. And in this letter, it says, from Honorable Sam Gay, Director, Executive Protection Service, the EPS, subject press release, date Tuesday, February 6, 2024, and it reads, the Director of the Executive Protection Service, the EPS, has declared Yeke Kwewu aka Pepsi Yeke, wanted for the illegal possession of EPS weapon with the following specifications. Serial number 97344. Making, that's the making is 73. The weapon type is a Norinco 22 pistol, and it goes with a mandate. Any law enforcement officer that comes in contact with Pepsi Yeke should have him immediately detained and then contact the Executive Protection Service, the EPS. Mr. Yeke is considered armed and dangerous. Mr. Yeke then responded. This is his response. I'm trying to get Mr. Yeke's response. He did send a response on Facebook, and I do have it here, and I want to read that out for you as well, and we'll post it for those of you watching what his response was to the communication from the EPS. We also do have pictures of him in watching the Juventus game on yesterday. I'm trying to get his response. We shall have. Give me a minute, please. Okay, I want to post it for those of you watching if you haven't seen it on social media, so that you can also see as we read along. So this is what Mr. Yeke posted after the EPS, director had declared him a wanted man for having in his possession illegally the EPS firearm that was issued to him. So this is what he said on his Facebook page, and I'll just read it out quickly for you as it's on the screen. So Mr. Yeke, in his response, had this to say. This is what he had to say. He said, Mr. Gay, if you are incapable of understanding the task at hand, seek guidance from your former colleagues rather than flaunting your ignorance. To date, I have now received a formal request for the EPS weapon legally assigned to me. Yet, you rashly labeled me as armed and dangerous. Your sheer incompetence in adhering to procedures has not only led you to behave like a maniac, but also to publicly demonstrate your inability to handle even the simplest of tasks. If you lack the capacity, rest assured I do not. Submit an official request and follow the proper procedure for EPS weapon turnover to ensure meticulous documentation. Your failure to fulfill your duties not only reflects poorly on yourself, but also on the integrity of the Boycott government. What justification do you have for baselessly branding me as armed and dangerous? It seems you have arrived at your new assignment with a personal vendetta against Pepsi Yeke. I consider this a threat on my life, and I'm asking you to retrieve your statement within 24 hours and follow the proper procedure. So now, after the EPS had issued this statement against Mr. Yeke Kwewu, known as Pepsi Yeke, the former director of the Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment, LACE, Mr. Yeke responded that indeed, confirming first that he still has got in his possession the firearm that was legally given to him. What constitutes legality is what we are still trying to understand. But from all indications, according to the Director of Armory and Weapons Instruction at the EPS, Madam Esther Chi, they had a directive, an order from the then EPA boss, Mr. Trocon Roberts, to issue several individuals weapons, including Mr. Pepsi Yeke. And according to her, a formal request was submitted for the weapon to be turned over, for which, according to her, Mr. Yeke had refused to turn over the weapon. But let's move to the facts that we've established so far. Yes, Mr. Yeke was issued a weapon. As to what was the SOP, the standard operating procedure to give him and others a weapon, we have not been able to clearly justify or to determine. But the determination is he was issued a weapon based on the order of the director of the EPS at the time, Mr. Trocon Roberts. Whether we speculate that an order came from higher above from President Weah, that those that are closest to him, including Sekou Kalasco and the rest, to be given weapons, we cannot substantiate as to whether an order came from above. But where the order was, reportedly from, is from Mr. Chokon Roberts. So we've established that Pepsi Yeke didn't steal the gun, or Yeke Kwewu didn't steal the gun. The gun was duly and legally given to him based on the order of the EPA boss at the time. But now let's go to the second fact. What made him to have the weapon in his possession was because of the proximity he enjoyed to the president at the time. That we've established that. And based on that, he and others, for which Madam Esther Chie didn't name the others, but said, let's just limit the conversation to Mr. Yeke, were deemed to be in close proximity to the president always, and either or their lives were at risk, and so they needed a weapon to defend themselves as against providing them bodyguards, which we know Mr. Yeke also had a bodyguard or bodyguards. So aside having bodyguards and EPS officers trained and assigned, they were given personal handguns. Granted, whether they were given the guns because they were near the president and in case any bush shake, they themselves can, add the firepower up, or based on the fact that they were close to the president and they were marked target, or they were targets and so they needed weapons on them at all times. Well, we've now established why they were given the weapon. But when does the privilege to enjoy having such a weapon end? It ended when the president-elect was announced and a transitional period was ensued, and a directive was given from President George Manneh Weah to all government officials, or soon to be at the time ex-officials, to turn over all government properties. That privilege would have ended right there and then, to turn over all government properties. And according to Madam Chie, a communication was sent to Mr. Yeke. The communication is dated the 10th of January. Whether Mr. Yeke received the communication or not, we cannot substantiate. We're trying to make contact with him, but we haven't been able to get him. We wanted him to explain his side of the story this morning. But let's move on bit by bit. Even in the absence of a communication that, look, you have to turn over the weapon that was issued you. When you enjoy a position, and that position and that privilege is no longer yours to enjoy, and you are to turn over all government assets and properties, the gun doesn't count as a government asset and property. Let's take it to property. The gun doesn't count as a government property. The law works in two ways. People say, oh, the law can do for you what you can do for yourself. You must do. If I, Diamond Slanger, enjoyed a position of privilege, that I had a government vehicle, and that privilege has been revoked by virtue of the fact that we lost an election, and I have to turn over all of those assets and properties that I have, will I not add the gun to it and say, okay, for the sake of clearing my name, and I don't want to be involved in any weapon issue or whatever it is, these are all of the government properties that were issued me, including the weapon. Go to the EPS, go to the armory, ask for the chief of the armory, say, look, let's do proper documentation. I received this weapon with serial number, with marking, with this, with that, and I've turned it over using the rightful procedure. Give me my clearance that I can show anytime when I'm called upon that I have indeed turned over this weapon. Should we even be having this conversation on public radio as to who was given weapon, who wasn't given weapon, when it was done secretly, covertly? And it should have been done that way. If the communication was sent and Mr. Yeke didn't receive the communication as he claimed, from the 10th up to the 22nd, when he and President Weah plus the rest of the entourage left the country. You have 12 days in between. Couldn't he have turned over the weapon? Why did he need the weapon still? So these are critical questions that we should be asking, and we need answers. Labeling him armed and dangerous. That is another issue that people have contention with. Why should Mr. Yeke be labeled armed and dangerous by the EPS? Refusal to turn over a weapon that was assigned to you and that period of assignment has expired means you are illegally possessing a weapon. Are you armed? Yes. Is the weapon dangerous? Yes, it is. The gun can kill, it can kill. So by illegally possessing a lethal weapon, you become armed and dangerous. Does it mean you can go out on a rampage and start shooting people? I don't think so. But it means you have a dangerous weapon with you, whether it's in your person always or you stack it somewhere. So the best thing to do is, the honorable thing to do is, when Mr. Yeke returns to the country, as to when he will, she return the weapon. And all these things, everybody get gun, everybody get gun, everybody get gun. It shouldn't be. What I still do know is we don't issue private or individual licenses to people to carry weapons in our country. We've not done that yet. All small arms are owned and operated by the government of Liberia through security apparatus. Were they trained? We got insider information that yes, they were trained, which the EPS would not want to speak to. But we need all of these clarities. According to Madam Chie, let's play an excerpt from her before we go to the phone lines. This is what she had to say when she appeared on Spoon Talk last night.
This is Madam Esther Chie. She's the Chief of Firearm and Training, the Division of EPS. This is Madam Esther Chie. The reason why I call her, can you tell us about Percy Yeke and the letter issue, Madam Esther?
Yeah, okay. Like you rightly said, we got instructions from our former boss, Chokwan Rahabas, issue Percy a pistol. And he was written by the same man who gave us instructions to issue the firearm, a letter to return firearm. He received copy of the letter, and then the director informed me and said, "The copy of the letter of which I sent to you is already on your messenger. I sent it via messenger." I even placed a call to him on the 25th of January, but he did not pick my call. I called him 2-3 times, he did not pick my call. He returned the call.
So let understand you, Madam Esther. Thank you very much for joining us. What's your position? Can you give us your position in the EPS?
I serve as the chief of training and firearms of EPS.
Who authorized Percy Yeke to carry a firearm?
The director of the EPS, then Choco and Roberts.
Choco and Roberts authorized him to carry a firearm. Who wrote the letter requesting that he return the firearm after George Weah government left power?
The Choco Roberts was the same director.
Okay, I'm going to hold you right there because you sent a letter to me with display. Can you tell Liberians to know whether Percy received this letter that was written to him?
I was informed to my boss that Percy received the letter.
Okay. You guys hearing me?
Roberts told me that, in fact, the very day Director Roberts he was signing the letter, he called me and said he was signing the letter and he was about to send the letter out. So I said, okay. After he sent the letter out to me and he told me to get in touch with the PRS of EPS, the Public Relations Officer. I got in touch with him. He confirmed that he took the letter to Percy and he sent me a copy of the letter of which I sent to you.
Thank you. Hold on 1 minute. We are only 4.
Mr. Yeke in the name of good faith. The fact that he doesn't need that weapon anymore, he should have turned over that weapon as of the day that the president issued that directive, and even apply and say, look, based on my proximity and based on the position that are occupied, I need at least a police officer to be assigned to me. The police can do that. If you feel like you still need an extra layer of security, you can apply to the law enforcement agency, especially the police, to have police officers assigned to you. Mr. Yeke could have done that, but holding on to the weapon, holding on to the weapon, he should have turned over the gun in the first place. He should have turned over the gun in the first place. And for the EPS to reach this far, to label him as wanted and armed and dangerous, people say, oh, but the EPS can arrest. The EPS can arrest. They can arrest you, interrogate, and turn you over to the requisite law enforcement agency to be charged and forwarded to court. They can do that. The EPS can arrest. Besides, the property we're talking about is EPS property, and there is jurisdiction in these matters. For those of you in the Western world, the Secret Service can arrest. The Secret Service can arrest. They can arrest you, carry out their investigation, and turn you over to the requisite authority to be charged and forwarded to court. So the EPS in itself can arrest. It is their property. When they arrest you, they can interrogate you, send you to the requisite authority to be charged and forwarded to court. So that can be done. So the issue should have been resolved. It wasn't something that Mr. Yeke should have held on to the gun in the first place. You're no longer occupying that position. You're no longer, near a president that is a target. Or are you a target? Even if you are a target, when the president said turn over all properties, you should have turned over that weapon, even prior to leaving the country. So let's assume Mr. Yeke doesn't return to Liberia in the next 3 to 4 years. How will the EPS retrieve that weapon? How do we know whose hands that weapon is in? Whether it's safe, whether it cannot be used for other illicit and illegal activities. As far as the EPS is concerned, he's still in possession of the weapon. So if he left the weapon in Liberia and he traveled to Italy, where he was enjoying a football game with President Weah yesterday, whose care is the weapon in? Formal request. This whole issue of formal request could have been avoided a long time ago. And when these things go south, it starts to look like one administration is going after ex-officials of another administration. To avoid all of these things, sometimes it's just good. Most times it's good that you apply the method of always safeguarding your name and integrity. You apply that method. Carry the weapon. Return it to the EPS. I was given a weapon with serial number, with marking number. This is the specification. I have brought it back. How many rounds of bullets I was given? 30. These are the 30 pieces that were given to me. You can follow through the paperwork and everything and give me a clearance that I've indeed returned the weapon that was provided me. If I still feel unsafe, let me apply to either the EPS or the police to provide me security, or I can hire private security to be around me until such time I feel like the threat is no more. We'll go to the phone lines now quickly and take calls for 5 minutes. 0777-1075, 0555-101075. 1 minute per caller. Let's take at least 10 callers this morning to wrap up on the show as well. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. 1 minute per caller. All of the training issues that we spoke about. The communication that was received from the office of Representative Yeke Koluba calling for the expulsion of President Boyka from the Unity Party on 2 grounds. He promised that his cabinet would have reflected the political subdivision of the country. That has not worked according to the communication from Representative Koluba. And the second ground is the president is not making independent decisions. So he's calling on the United Party to either expel President Boyka from the party or bring him to book. So, papi, can't yet. You have to do as the party wants or as we want you to do. And this issue of this whole weapon saga, whether Mr. Yeke could have turned the weapon over without even the EPS asking him to do so, at least as of the time a communication was sent and as of the time he left the country, that could have been done in a matter of minutes to turn over, inspect the weapon, take a record of the weapon, and give him a clearance. 1 minute per caller. Let's hear you out quickly. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Let's hear you, please.
The name is Patrick Cherry calling from Custody Boulevard, Gardnerville.
Go ahead, Mr. Cherry.
Yeah, the issues concerning the arm, according to the small arm law from ECOWAS, Bureau constitutes sometime way back, arm embargo Liberia, a civilian is not to carry a weapon. And under the rules of engagement, that any civilian carry a weapon is no longer a civilian, therefore is authorized. So the SS was not wrong to say he's armed and dangerous, right? And then if the people say damn, I heard people on phone talking about the man is in the armor, but then the documents that supposed to issue a fellow arm supposed to come from the defense minister, not the president himself, because the president don't have his own security. People provide security for him.
Good morning, my name is Jawad Apan. I call from Twinsville. In my mind, I've even issued Mr. Percy Yake firearm because he was close to the president. I think it was wrong. If it was right then, they should have given firearm to even the press secretary or the deputy press secretary, who were also very close to the president, or many other friends like Akara Grace, who were also close to the president. Besides that, the fact that the president, the former president, issued an order that all government property should be turned over. It means that there was sufficient notice for Mr. Percy Yeke to turn the gun over. So he is armed indeed, even though he's not here. The arm is dangerous, and he's holding illegal arm. So it makes him very armed and dangerous. No argument about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you as well. Let's take this person here. 0777-1075 555-101075. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's hear you out, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Luther Sakichium. I joined from Jesu number 6, Mosore Kante. Jamo, if you are a common worker and you coming in, it is by law that you tell all every government property. It is a great people that you should do that. If you refuse to do that, what is the penalty for it? What is the penalty for it? And that's why you have to do it. The same money. You know, if you have a weak government in your country, if you call money always go on. So we don't blame those who doing it. But when you please answer my question, if you have a government worker and you have a government property, and you refuse to take the turn over that government property, and then you have it in your possession, what is the penalty for it? I beg you, please answer me.
Well, that in itself is you holding a property that doesn't belong to you. I cannot come up with the exact legal charge for that. But that is you withholding a property that doesn't belong to you. You're refusing to turn over what isn't yours. So under our jurisprudence, that is a crime.
It is so. And you have the government property and the man has left the country. We don't know who can in the country.
That is the thing. We don't know the whereabouts of the weapon because Mr. Yeke is not in the country. And I'm sure he did not travel with the weapon out of the country because he doesn't have the clearance to do so. Yeah. So where is the weapon? That's the thing. Is it out there? Who's got it? Is it safe? All right, Chief. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take another person here. Hello.
Morning, Mr. Damo.
Morning. Let's hear you out, please.
I'm Emmanuel calling from New Jersey.
Welcome, Emmanuel. Go ahead.
You know, you were discussing about something concerning about Bapolu. You see, my brother, the reason why Liberia is because the lack of rule of law. Because when there is law, even all that we discussing here will happen. And you know, people come to government, they build lines to protect themselves. They use the code to protect themselves because they build institutional corruption. So every time people come to power, we continue to see corruption, mismanagement of money, mismanagement of government assets. Even personally, as I'm talking, they're turning over that the government is doing. Most of those things have been taken away. And there will be no accountability. Now, you talk about the EPS. If we have law, do you think an individual had the right to carry an arm when the person has already given up power? The whole thing is based on lack of law. The implementation of the laws are not being implemented. And so because people become God, become law to themselves, and as long as we run the country that day, the country will not succeed.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your input. All right. So sadly, that's all the time we have to be here. Thank you so much for listening. We'll definitely be back tomorrow with another presentation of the Today Show here across the Spoon Network. My name is Diamond Slanger, bidding you a very good morning. Do enjoy the rest of your day. For those of you here in Liberia and other parts of the world, that is early morning. For those of you experiencing nighttime, have a pleasant night to you as well. For those of you going through the course of your day, have for yourselves a wonderful, wonderful afternoon or evening, wherever it is you watching us from. Tomorrow will be another presentation of your preferred source of breakfast information in Liberia, the Today Show across the Spoon Network. Until we talk again, always remember to do things you want your friends and your neighbors to hear about. Do not do things you don't want people hearing about. And when people start to hear about it, and you say, oh, my name, my character, my this, my that, my yeah. Integrity is an everyday commodity. Remember that integrity is an everyday commodity. You must continue to strive and work in line with your integrity every day. Because today you can do something integrous. Tomorrow you might do something that is going to ruin your integrity. So every day you must put yourself in check to maintain your integrity. Offer yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. And keep listening to the Spoon Network. Bye-bye.